This it?
Not quite.
This is just one of the many cities along our path.
Thought it was kinda small.
You've never seen one of the 4 kingdoms of Gaia, have you?
Nope.
To be honest, I can't even remember if I've ever been to one of them myself.
Jay.
What about you, Aaron? Ever been to one of the 4 kingdoms?
You know as well as I do that I grew up at the orphanage.
Right.
Well, I can tell you right now that they are quite impressive. After all, they have always been far ahead of their times.
I find it rather strange that the only one of us that has seen the 4 kingdoms is Esther's schizoid side.
I'm not schizophrenic, dumbass!
And there it is!
Huh? Wait, hey!
So, what town is this by chance?
Given the direction of the wind, I'd say Leodes.
How can you tell by just the direction of the wind?
Because he is well educated.
Bull!
Let me explain. There are 8 cities that surround Zephyr, each with its own airflow.
Airflow?
Yes, there's Boreas of the north wind, Kikias of the northeast wind, Evros of the east wind, Apoleodes of the southeast wind, Nodos of the south wind, Leaps of the southwest wind, Zephyrus of the west wind, and Skiron of the northwest wind.
Wait, hold on. First off, Zephyrus? The kingdom has a similar name to one of the cities?
There is a reason behind that, but it's not important at the moment.
Whatever. But what's with all this airflow stuff?
Well, there are 8 directions in which the air can current. In this case, Apoleodes has wind that always flows to the west.
How the...
This is largely due to the fact that Zephyr is located directly in the middle of a huge tornado.
What?
Each of the 4 kingdoms is protected by Gaia due to my promise. It just happens that Zephyr is protected by means of a huge tornado that serves as a protective shell of sorts.
Uh-huh.
You are not listening, are you?
Nope.
I think I get it. Due to that tornado and the location of each city, wind is constantly centered in the middle and spitting out whichever direction.
Correct.
At least someone has the decency to listen when spoken to.
Huh? Oh, sorry. Wasn't listening.
You amaze me.
How?
You can even manage to not only ignore, but fail to listen to that in which takes control of your body to talk. How is that even feasible?
Well, that's because I am super special awesome. Of course.
Of course.
So does this mean Zephyr is a straight-on shot from the city, counting we follow the wind?
Given the geography we just spoke of, I'd say that goes without saying.
Hey, what's with all the rudeness all of a sudden?
Sorry, I am just used to Esther being the only one to give stupid remarks or ask unintelligent questions.
Hey, insult me all you want, but leave Jay out of it.
Yeah.
It's not their fault they didn't know that much. The only education we did receive was very little. We did grow up in an orphanage after all, and we're lucky to have any teaching period. I just happen to be a bookworm myself.
Books are boring. How do you find the patience to read them without falling asleep? Oh, right. You're always asleep.
You're getting worse at that sarcasm stuff.
Bite me, mate.
Anyway, we should make use of our current location by learning how to extract the Phantatiom Elements.
Why would we do that?
So that you do not have to kill people.
I'm not really seeing the fun in that.
Moving on. Listen closely because I do not feel like repeating myself. Due to the spiritual state of the Phantatiom Elements within the human body and your null Phantatiom element, you are capable of using a special procedure.
Boring.
By using this method, you will extract the spiritual particles that have gathered within a human soul and evolved into a full spiritual state, thus absorbing them into your own.
Boring.
To go about this procedure, you will have to first concentrate what you already have, the wind element, and recognize its presence within others. Once you do this, you can potentially figure out who is a Phantatiom user and who is still developing.
Boring.
With that said, I would like for you to draw out your wind element. After doing so, concentrate as if you were conjuring a spell.
Boring. Boring. Boring.
If you dare say boring one more time, I really will give you a headache.
Wow, this is quite amusing. Munch, munch, munch.
Really? I still find it rather creepy.
What are you two staring at? Wait a sec. Are you eating?
Yeah. We decided to get nice and comfy before watching you have a, semi-intellectual conversation with yourself.
Creeps.
Back on track. How about you give it a try?
Whatever, let's make this quick.
I would like nothing more than that.
Okay, concentrate as if conjuring up a spell, right? Okay, Fido.
Phyto?
It's my thing, do not question.
Alright then.
Here we go!
I call upon the raging gust within me to listen to my voice and to show thyself before me. For you and I are one.
Yes, that is right. Just like that. Recognize the presence of your wind element so that you can recognize it in others.
I think... No, feels too weak. Aha! Over there!
Perfect. You found a wind user.
Huh? There's a wind user over there? I was looking at the snack booth.
Nonetheless, you found your potential target.
Sweet! An easy kill!
We are doing this to avoid killing, remember?
Oh. Right. Dang.
No, I am assuming this person will not notice you drawing out their power, as they do not seem to be that strong of a wind user. So I say go ahead and do it in public. After this, you should be able to collect the particles in those who do not yet have a fully developed element.
Do what in public?
How do I draw it out?
Concentrate on the presents you picked up.
The snack stand? Right, just kidding already! People fail at recognizing jokes and sarcasm.
Tell me about it.
Let's hurry this up, shall we?
Fine. So, concentrate on that person, huh? Okay, I've got this.
I call upon the wind within me to go forth and find others, to help me within my journey for the path of destruction that you and I will now walk.
Now, slowly remove the spiritual substance and draw it into your crystallized wind element.
Okay. Slowly remove.
Almost there.
Is it just me? Or does this happen to sound like sexual innuendo every so often?
It's just you perv.
Ha! I did it!
Dang it! You made me miss it, Alan.
Hey, I missed it too, you know.
Wait! What's happening? It's glowing. The crystal is glowing. Does this mean it's gonna explode? I'm gonna die, aren't I? Ah, I'm gonna die! Oh, I'm gonna die!
Remain calm.
I'm gonna die!
You are not dying. The glowing only represents that your element has achieved the next level. Though I must admit that I am surprised. That man had a stronger wind element than I had thought.
This almost seems like thievery.
You're right.
Can't help but feel a little dirty about it, too.
Is that it? Just got stronger?
Well, when it shines like that, it means you have achieved the next level of your powers. You are now a second-class wind user.
Really? Sweet! Ha! Suck on those nuggets, Jay! I'm on the same level as you now. Na.
I knew that whole already being a second-class fire user was gonna come back and bite me in the ass.
Everything revolving around Esther comes back to bite you in the ass sooner or later. Sooner or later.
So, does that mean I can use a new spell or something?
Correct. But just because you have gained the ability to use a new spell does not mean you can use it right away. Unlike Jay, who is naturally born a fire user, you have to look deep into your wind Phantatiom crystal and unlock the hidden power that was just born onto it.
Sounds complicated.
You can't even use the new power you've gained yet! Oh, that kills me.
I think that just gave me the encouragement to put forth all my concentration.
I wouldn't worry there, Jay. 100% of her concentration ain't much.
What was that, Drac?
Speaking of spells and the like, shall I explain the 5 classes of any Phantatiom element and their corresponding elements?
Nah, that's fine. I think I've had enough explanations to last me a lifetime.
You will not get far with that kind of attitude. I highly suggest improving it if you desire anything to get done.
She is right, Esther. You can't go around with that kind of attitude towards everything if you hope to get anywhere. If you hope to grow and develop into a respectable and strong individual, you have to at least take the first step to maturity.
Are you calling me either option A, a little girl, or option B, immature?
I suggest going for secret option C, Jay. Because, well, you won't get out well with either of those options.
No kidding. Either one will be like signing my own death warrant.
Anyway, go ahead with your next lecture, Eve.
Oh, God. I don't know if I can handle another explanation. My head hurts.
Try to hold it out just a little longer. All of this is very important, Esther. Go ahead, Eve.
Eva. E-V-A. It is the only appropriate way to shorten my name. Otherwise, refer to me by my real name, Evangeline. Do I have to remind you that I am the Goddess Evangeline, your creator and mother? Watch thy tongue! With that said, the 5 classes of a Phantatiom element derive from your fingers.
But we have 10 fingers.
True, but you did not let me finish. People tend to be either right or left-handed. Therefore, for someone like you, Esther, concentrating on your right hand is easier. The same can be said for when you write or throw. It is simply easier. As you can see when I take over, I am left-handed. It is also true that being born ambidextrous is what opens the possibility for one to become a Phantatiom genius.
How so?
Again, let me finish. Phantatiom geniuses can use both their left and right hands equally in areas such as writing, throwing, etc. and etc. Therefore, their concentration levels branch into a whole new level. You could say they have doubled the concentration of the average person. Also keep in mind that very few are ambidextrous and even fewer have a fully evolved Phantatiom element.
Wait, that means... Jay, are you both a righty and a lefty?
Huh? Now that I think of it, yeah, I am. I never really noticed before, though.
That's kind of freaky, you know?
You're one to talk, Miss Schizo.
Gus!
A child with a sword, I tell you.
Now, if you are all done goofing around, I would like to expand on the 5 fingers. Human fingers can be referred to as digits or an organ of manipulation. Fingers are also capable of moving independently from one another. With that, you could easily conclude that your hands require more concentration than any other part of your body.
Ah, yes. I recall this topic. Fingers have the greatest concentration of touch receptors and thermoreceptors. You could say we use each of our fingers in order to draw out each individual spell from our Phantatiom elements. Though, that only includes the attack spells and not the ones we use for defense. Actually, it would be better off to say a Phantatiom user's stronger set of spells, whether they be offense or defense, reside in whatever their dominant hand is. It would also explain why all wind and fire users who rely on offense are right-handed, while earth and water users tend to be left-handed. Simply, our right hand holds our offense spells, while our left hand holds our defense spells. Given that, we concentrate the elemental powers at the tips of our fingers in order to draw upon them, thus creating spells. When concentrating the power in the center of our hands, rather than the tips of our fingers, we can conjure weapons that only get more powerful as our element does.
Well, I would certainly have to say you are well informed.
Only on some things, Eve.
Eva.
Same difference.
And back to being tired.
Now, Esther, you may also be wondering about your different arsenal of attack spells.
Not really.
Let me explain this one, Eve. You see, Esther, you have 3 different types of spells. Ones you use as offense, ones you use as defense, and finally, what are known as special spells. They are referred to as such due to the fact that every individual has different sets. These are your strongest, but at the same time your most costly spells. They tend to damage both the user and the person the user is attacking. Not to mention they are also easily screwed up, and have a tendency to backfire on the user due to the sheer amount of concentration needed to trigger them.
Sounds fun!
How does that sound fun?
What do you mean? They're super powerful, right? How can that not be fun?
You did hear how they often backfire, and even when executed correctly, they harm the user. Right?
Huh? I think I missed that part.
You quit listening after I said strongest, didn't you?
Don't you even pay attention to when you zone out?
Why would I?
Moving on, the reason Phantatiom users are not capable of combining spells to enhance their effectiveness is due to the lack of concentration they have. Phantatiom geniuses have that extra concentration, which allows them this ability. On the other hand, you, Esther, are an exception to this rule.
Sweet.
You really do lack manners, huh?
Duh.
Anyway, the reason you are an exception to this rule is because you have me within you. Your concentration is centered on your right hand, while mine is on your left. By combining our concentration, you are capable of combining spells. Understand?
I didn't even want to hear it.
This is a waste of time.
Could have told you that from the start.
I'm actually surprised you haven't learned that by now.
Yes, so am I. But with that said, I suppose we'll conclude any long explanation for a while.
Oh, thank God!
I know what you mean. I feel worn out just from listening so much.
Well, at least we managed to get a few things done during it, such as teaching Esther how to extract Phantatiom Elements. She achieved the second class as a result, after all.
And it helped me realize something.
And what might that be?
Killing is so much faster and tons more fun. Therefore, screw the extracting procedure.
Will that work? Only to have her come to such a resolve. I wonder, why do I even waste my breath?
Well, let's go check in at a hotel and catch some shut-eye. Shall we, mates?
No complaints here.
I will never argue with that logic.
Okay then, let's get a move on it.